Well, hello everybody, and welcome to a special edition of the Akka.net Community Stand-Up. In fact, I'm going to get a little Christmas music going here just for a second. All right. So, we decided to do something special because, I've been out on vacation for the past couple of weeks or so. In fact, this is a little too loud. That's better. We decided to do something a little special for our community stand-up at the end of the year here. Rather than go through the Akka.net roadmap and some of the stuff that we're working on, we decided to go ahead and create a little internal competition, me and Gregorius against the clock. And we're going to try to fix as many bugs as are on this list as possible. I've been kind of picking, so I've tried to pick issues that were primarily submitted by other people who are actual end users of Akka.net who are impacted by it. And what we're going to try to do is Gregorius and I are going to pair program together on these issues. And I might share my screen and Gregorius might give me directions on how we need to go and fix this issue. And then after we fix one, or if 20 minutes goes up, we might flip and do it the other way around. We're going to be a little flexible about it. We've never tried doing anything like this before. We thought it'd be fun. I guess actually, Gregorius, the last time we did something kind of quirky like this was our Upgrade-a-thon when Akka.net 1.5 came out. Yes. If you remember that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we want to thank Shelby on our team, our office manager, for doing all of the festive-looking background and the banners and everything else. That's really all her. So hats off, Shelby. And also, we're going to have some table stakes here. Let me go ahead and grab my timer. Let's see. All right. We are currently at 15 minutes and 50 seconds. I'm going to reset it in just a second. Every 20 minutes, we go. And I guess you can't really see the timer in frame. Plus, it's on battery saving mode, so the clock kind of fades out a little bit fast. Let me see if I can turn that off and just get it to normally run. Let's see. There we go. All right, so I've got battery saving mode turned off now. That thing's fully charged. Every 20 minutes, that timer is going to go off. And when that happens, I'm going to go ahead and put this up in frame. This is Oak Farms eggnog. Now, this is primarily an American tradition. However, I know in places, I was just in London on Monday. I know that eggnog has spread around internationally, so everyone can enjoy the spicy, sugar-laden, fat-induced dairy products like this. I am going to, every 20 minutes we go without fixing a bug, I'm going to pour myself a little glass here just to show you all. I'm going to drink a glass roughly this size. This is about 300 calories worth of eggnog here. Yes, it is really quite that calorie dense. I'm going to drink one of those every single time we go 20 minutes without doing it. Gregorius, I'm not going to make him drink anything. I'm going to go ahead and suffer for art. I'm not going to ask anyone else on the team to do the same. So with that being said, I think we're probably ready to get started and pick our first bug. So Gregorius, I guess you're going to drive first and I'm going to code. Let me just go ahead and get, let me quit out of here. And let me go ahead and just get back onto the development branch of Akka.net, and then we will select our first bug. All right, let me go ahead and merge all this in. Okay. Gregorius, if you want to be easy on me, we should pick one that seems like it's doable in 20 minutes. If you want to risk not getting a bonus this year, I recommend picking a hard one. Just kidding. All right, let's do it. I agree. Let's do it. Okay, so Gregorius, dealer's choice. You get to pick the first one from this list.
Well, there's one that is actually a PR and not an issue. The Akka cluster fix AK1004 warnings.
That one is a PR. Actually, a couple of these are PRs. The convert failure to exception when asked is a PR that another contributor submitted that's not passing. And I think I even explained why. This is another PR that a third-party user submitted that's not passing. And I think this is a draft PR that has not been implemented. So you want to do this one, the AK1004 warnings?
Yeah, it seems like a very low hanging fruit, right?
Okay. And you've already updated it to the latest for me. Okay, so we're going to do this one. Let me go ahead and clear the timer. All right. Let me go ahead and just start this over here. All right. 20 minutes. And go. All right, here we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and clone this real quickly, and I'll flip over. So if I recall correctly, this is an Akka analyzer warning all about trying to move away from using the system.threat.scheduler to using I with timers. All right, so let me pull up Akka.net here, and I'll get rid of that testing session. I'll get rid of that one too. All right, and let me close all these down. Now, this was failing for some reason. Why that was. Go pull up the status checks here. And let's take a look. Just a second here. Hopefully, this is recent enough where we still have the retained run data on Azure DevOps. No, it's not. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and let that one run real quick in the background here so we can see why that is not working currently. Because I think I opened that, July, and it's still not running. You know what we could do? Let's jump into here and let's pull up the Akka.cluster test suite. Let me go grab that. And let me go ahead and just run all these unit tests and see if any of these fail. And hopefully if there's a problem with this, so the reason why this pull request wasn't working is I'm pretty sure we did something improperly here. All right, it's going to go ahead and compile. We'll do that. Let me pull up, while we're here, the history of this particular pull request. Let's see. 78 commits I need to pull down. Thank you for that, Gregorius. All right. Okay. I'll bring all that down. And I guess it would probably be faster in order for me to understand why none of this is working. Yeah, I'm going to have to redo that. I guess it would be faster if I just took a look at what we actually changed here. It doesn't look too bad. All right.
It's only changes on 2 files, super. So.
All right, so change that. Class should never be instantiated. Made it static to resolve some compiler grumbling. Fixed a comment there. Made this a static class as well. Did a little reformatting there. Let's see. That all looks fine. This is all resharper stuff. Yep. That's all that. Change that to use a raw string. Oh, I bet this is a problem, actually. I think that's probably something that we need to reverse. So I'll take a look at that. I don't know if this can do the string formatting that this stuff requires down here. That might cause a bug. We'll take a look at that. Replace calls with the scheduler to use I with timers instead. Okay, that's 1, 2, gossip speed up 1, gossip speed up 2. That looks fine. Schedule tell once. Yep. Cluster scheduler tell once. That seems fine. No issues there. And then, well, let me rephrase. We know this has issues because there's been problems with this pull request. Schedule tell once. Start single timer to address. Let's see. Heartbeat expected response after self. All that looks right. Okay, this looks like really simple changes. So why are things not working currently? Let's see. I'm going to have to... I need a new test session. Let me go ahead and do this. And let's run it. Good Lord. We're already at like 4.5 minutes down. And I haven't even really figured out why this thing's not working yet.
Maybe we need to let it run for a bit and come back to it later.
Yep. That might not be a bad idea. All right, let's kick this off real quick. Yeah, you know what? I think we should shift gears and do a different issue. That we need the build system to tell us what's wrong, and that's going to take a while to run. So I'm not going to reset the clock, but we do need to switch to a different issue. Let me go back to my issue list here. In fact, you know, we're just going to do this in a separate tab. Let me open this up. Okay, there we go. All right, Gregorius, let's pick a different one.
What about the make timeout used in test kit base class configurable?
Yes, this is. I just added this one to our list. So this issue here is pretty straightforward. This is more of an enhancement to the. Let me switch back to the dev branch real quick. Fix 7259 test kit config. So this is more of an enhancement to the way the test kit initializes. And they're pointing out that some of these issues, like if you're running with a high degree of parallelism in the test kit, you get this ask timeout when the logger gets initialized, and you can also get this timeout when we're waiting for the test actor to initialize as well. So that's something that they would like to make configurable. But think of it like the startup time that the actual test kit needs in order to become active. So they want to have and this should be a separate configuration value from like the rest of the config values that we use inside the test kit. So it's like a startup timeout for each individual spec. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so we can definitely fix this. Let's go and pull up the test suite here. And why don't you take it away from here, Gregorius? Where should I go to try to fix this?
It's going to be an Akka test kit, right? And we probably want to change, well, not change, but add a new entry inside the test scheduler.con config. Yeah, it's in the config folder.
Config folder.
Yep. And we can add a new Hocon setting here to set that.
Gotcha. So under test, maybe we should do what? Thank you, ChatGPT. What do you think? Call it maybe startup timeout?
It's logger initialization timeout and test actor readiness timeout. That's not a really good name.
Maybe we should have a timeout that spans both of those. Since you kind of need a little bit of both, right?
Yeah.
And we'll set it to 5 seconds because that's how long we give the test actor currently, right? So we use the bigger of the two values. So now we need to probably add that setting somewhere.
Yeah.
Where should we stick that?
Yeah, it should be in the test kit setting class.
All right. And let's see, test time factor, log test kit calls. Here's the other timeouts. So I guess I'll add a time span, test kit startup timeout. And the default value, let's take a look. What was the name of this Hocon block? It was just called startup timeout. I guess that's good enough. All right, startup timeout. Okay, so now that's available, that setting. I guess I need to actually expose a real public property here. You know what else I'm going to do while we're here? We're going to make ReSharper happy with us. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And where's time factor? I'll do that as well. All right. There we go. That looks good. Okay. So we've got that setting enabled. I'm going to do a check-in real quick. Added startup timeout property to test kit settings. Okay. And I'll move this over here. Do my GPG dance. All right. Okay, what's next, Gregorius?
Well, we should then use that value inside the test kit base itself.
Yes, we should.
The line,
test.
I'm looking for the line where the logger is being initialized.
Where do we wait for the test actor? That's the other spot too, right?
It's inside create test actor, I think.
Wait until test actor is ready. Here we go. All right, so we need to pass in down here the test kit settings that we just created. And the deadline should be settings dots test kit startup timeout. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the two spots.
Yeah.
This means we need to pass in the settings. Okay, that looks good. I'm still not sure where that logging call is.
I'm still looking for it, but you know. Guess it's not being set in the test kit base.
Let's take a look at that GitHub issue. Looks like it's testkit.cs that's doing that.
Oh.
So let's see. Let's see if we can find the derived class. Well, that's going to be harder than it looks. There's hundreds of them. Do you think it's in XUnit is where that's happening?
It could be. Let me check. Testkit XUnit.
I see. Initialize logger.
Oh, okay.
Well, here's the thing. I see that happening without an ask inside this method, initialize logger. What was the method that they logged? There's different implementations of this method, dude. I think this comes from the XUnit .testkit 1 and 2 being different. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's another thing we're gonna have to clean up. All right, where is testkit XUnit number 2? By the way, okay, yes, here we go. This is the issue right here in XUnit. The XUnit test kit number 2. All right, so that's another. We'll have the file separate GitHub issue for that, but yikes. So just pass in the new timeout setting right here, Gregorius.
Mm-hmm. Do we actually still have a reference to it?
Test kit settings, yes.
Yes.
All right, we do. Okay, that's done. Do that. We've got to do this in 2 places because it allows us to prefix the test. This method here allows us to prefix it, which is super useful when we're doing like multiple actor systems all in the same test. Okay. I think we have, let's see, integrated test kit timeout into XUnit 2 and test kit base. And I'm going to put close 7259 in here. Now, I know we're going to need to do API approvals for this, aren't we?
Mostly.
Let's take a look at the testkit.test. We want to do a unit test for this real quick. Actually, I guess we could just extend this one, right?
Yep.
Testkit settings. Time span from seconds 5. That'll cover that. Let's run it. That failed. Let's run that again. Timeout waiting for test actor to be ready. Yikes. Uh-oh. Wait until test actor is ready. How did that happen? It'd be kind of funny if we broke that. Yeah, let's go ahead and I guess debug that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is ever simple. Okay, we got 5 minutes until I got to take my next hit of eggnog. All right, let's see what's going on here. All right, test kit startup timeout. 0 seconds. So we obviously have a bug with our Hocon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Why is the setting isn't reading that?
I wonder if the config is in the wrong place. Test scheduler config, default config. Test kit internal.reference.conf.
Oh.
So this is in the wrong spot. All right. I don't think I've touched this file in many years. So we've got
same.
So we've got some duplicate config in a couple spots here, it looks like. So that's another thing we're gonna have to go and fix.
Yeah.
I guess after we do the record. Okay, there we go. Now it's passing. That looks good. Let me add a comment right here. Increase this value if you're running many tests in parallel. Let me go ahead and do the API test real quick because we're going to need to approve that. And then we can check this in and then cross one off the list. Well done, Gregorius. All right. Let's run that. Okay, there we go. Our API approval tests did indeed found that new property. This is not a breaking change. That should be okay. Kill orphaned. All right. Got to do this for both .NET 8 and for .NET Framework 4.8. That looks good. Okay. API approvals and tests. Okay. Push that up, and I'll go and create a pull request. All right. Make test kit startup timeouts configurable. Test kit, do API change. All right. And we'll go ahead and say close. I included the number in here. Is it 7259? 7259. Make that configurable. 7259 is the issue. This doesn't really affect benchmarks. Let's go ahead and create a pull request real fast. And let's do design discussion issue. Go ahead and include this down here. That stuff doesn't really need to be reviewed. New setting here. You can increase this value to give tests more time to initialize, which might be useful if you're running many in parallel. All right, could go ahead and do that. Validate that this value can be written, overwritten via Hocon. So we tested it. And then we have our API approvals. Okay, detailed my changes. And done. Gregorius, I take it I don't need you to review this, given that you wrote it with me.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're good to go there. This touches the test kit, so it's going to cause the entire test suite to run, which will take 60 minutes. Okay. I'm going to stop the timer. I have 32 seconds left before I needed to do eggnog. So that came right down to the wire. Well done. All right. Oh, that means I get to put my banner out there. One bug fixed. Ta-da. All right. Good job, Gregorius. Let's see if we have any data back on this pull request.
Looks like tests are passing.
Tests are passing. Well, maybe that's a freebie I get to merge in later. We'll see. Let me reset the clock here real quick. All right. There we go. Sorry about that. Looks like I had a connectivity problem for a second there. Okay. All right. So I guess dealer's choice for the next issue. Gregorius, do you want to pull your screen up and I'll have you drive? Or so I'll have you do the typing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Go ahead and share your screen in StreamYard and I'll go ahead and make it the active window. Let's see. So this guy is done. Next issue. All right. I'm going to go and add you to stage. All right, Gregorius, I got you up and running here. I think the next issue I would like to address. Let's see. It's my it's my eggnog on the line here, so I'm going to pick something that I think is achievable. I would like to go ahead and fix this Akka Streams issue because I personally find this really annoying. Make the log level customizable on the .log method inside the Akka Stream stage. So allow users to pass in their own log level on the given call. Right now, we have to set some like weird attribute in order to do it. I think if you just say log and then pass in a log level as a parameter, that would be a better way of doing it. Does that sound good?
It's this one right here, right?
Yes, that's the one. Correct. Okay. Are you ready to begin?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I'm starting the timer. 20 minutes. Go. Okay.
I'm already in the dev branch. We should go to Akka Stream.
Yeah, Akka Streams. And let me see which file it's actually in. Let's see.
Should be in the DSL, right?
That's correct. Yeah, it's a flow stage inside the DSL somewhere. Let me see. I'm going to look for... Oh, you already found it. Well, good for you. All right, so... There we go. So we have, let's see. I guess you can already pass in a logging adapter, which is cool. So that's good. And then let's see. Let me take a look at the GitHub issue again real quick. So we have the extractor, which basically returns like the object that's going to get logged out there. So that's done. We have the name of the stage, I guess. So what we should probably do here is, why don't we take a look at the internal flow operation definition?
Okay. Via fusing log.
Yeah, let's go to that.
There it is.
Log. Okay. And if we take a look at the properties up there, it's the name. Where does the name get used?
It's passed into the logic. No, it's not. Oh.
Yeah, could you? Oh gosh.
It is. It is being used inside the logic. It's used to create the log source.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's the log source name. That's what that's for. Okay, cool. That makes sense. That's designed to make it easier to understand what's going on. In fact, I'm pretty sure I created this issue after we added the log source integration. Is when we probably did that. So let's take a look. So right now it's all being set via attributes, right? That's basically how we're deciding to customize the log level currently. Yeah, that's what
it says. It's set inside log levels.
Yeah, and it's the attribute stuff. Well, so here's what I think would be a convenient way of handling this then, Gregorius. Let's go to the DSL where we actually set this. Yeah, there we go. Can you please add an overload to this method here that will take a log level, and we'll call it the we'll call it like default log level or something, or just call it log level. That's fine. So we're going to create a new overload. Now I'd go ahead and create a new. Well, Because that's technically not API compatible if we do it that way. So we need to actually do an overload.
Okay. Do the documentation.
Yeah. And yeah, you go ahead and get rid of the log level from that other old method. There you go. And then what I would do is I'd make the log level a mandatory property on this method. That way there's no confusion. And that way we don't have to make it nullable either. Okay. And go ahead and set that somewhere in there. I guess I'd do it before the extractor function. So have the name go first, then the log level.
Okay, so we need to give this a default value, though.
You can leave it as is. I think that'd be all right. Actually, that's a good idea, Gregorius. So here's what this comes down to, and you tell me what you think is appropriate. If we go and add this as if we go and modify the old method, that technically breaks binary compatibility, but it's still source compatible if we do that. And it might just help keep things simpler if we did it that way. The only reason... You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Even though it's technically breaking binary compatibility, I think in the name we're just keeping it simple. Let's do exactly what you're doing there, which is set it to, I think debug level is the default that's used today, so we can keep that.
Okay.
Sound all right?
So we're just gonna do this, right?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and do another optional property at the end there, default log level, and we'll set it to debug.
Okay.
That way the behavior will be consistent. Okay. And you can delete the duplicated method. All right. And then what we want to do is after the internal flow operations.log, we want to do we're going to use the Fluent API. We want to set the attribute with attributes. Actually, how do we set the attributes on there? Do we need to do that on the outside, on the source, or can we do that on the log? Let's see. Let's see, how do we normally set attributes? Okay, sorry, you got to do it on the source. So if you go ahead and wrap the source in parentheses and do with attributes. There we go. Yeah, go ahead and basically wrap everything that's on the return. No. Oh, you're doing it there on the flow? Okay, that works too. But yeah, go ahead and do with attributes, attributes.create log levels. Yep. And then for everything that's not the error, we should leave on error at error level, but otherwise everything else you can go ahead and set as debug level or whatever the customized level is.
Well, how do I do that?
I think it's basically just log level, comma log level inside of there. Yeah, see the log level, the actual variable? Yeah, there you go. Scroll down. Do that. Comma. Log level. And I think you're done. That will allow us to customize the elements and the onFinish log levels, and it'll leave the error log level set to error, which I think is correct. All right. That looks good to me. Why don't you go ahead and commit that change, and then we should write a unit test for it. I guess we also need to add an XML doc comment as well.
Do you want to change all of these or just...
Yeah, let's clean up these TBDs while we're here, because this is kind of like code smell. Okay. Just say, the output type. Oh, we got to do this. Don't we need to do this also for the by the way, if you call internal flow operations.log, can you go ahead and F12 to that method? Because there's a flow and a source version of this, and we have to cover both. So you know what? This is where we need to add those attributes, is this method down here, I think. So we're going to need to kind of like chain those methods together. It'll be at the end of the method. Or maybe is it on the fusing.log? Let's see. Flow.via. Yep. Okay. We just need to add the log level parameter here and just forward it from the other method.
And do this.
Yep. Yep. All right. That looks good. And yeah, that looks good to me. So this should cover both of our bases, I think. Yeah, I think we're okay. Is there another DSL area where the log can get called? Let's see, there's source operations. Where else does log get called? There's also flow operations.cs also has a call for this. Flow operations, the next file down.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. There's a log method on here. We just need to add that log level parameter to this also. Yep. That looks right. And then we just got to forward that down there. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and clean up the XML.comments. We can probably do it. So let's see. The materialized type, we'll go ahead and say the underlying graph. For name, we'll say the name of the log source, and you can do a cref to that. Yeah, you know how it says C also? See that? See on line 1977. That C equals cref equals. You want to do that, but for log source. Yeah, get rid of the param ref thing. You don't need that. Yep. Perfect. And say, say for that optional, extracts the content that will be captured by the logger. And then for the log, you can go ahead and say optional, use a external logging adapter. So if you want to borrow a logging adapter that's owned by like an actor, you can pass that in there. All right, cool. That looks good. For the returns, why don't you just delete that? We don't need that. Okay. There we go. This is like a developer experience improvement more than like a functional fix.
Mm-hmm.
Designed to go ahead and make it easier to actually like discover how to fix this. Okay.
What's that?
Looks good to me. Why don't you go ahead and copy all those param names real quick? So all the XML doc for that, we're going to paste those into a couple of other areas. Yes, you can paste it there, although the type name params are going to be different.
Yeah, it's going to be TMAT.
Yep. I think all those you can get rid of. Yeah. And you can get rid of the returns as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that looks good. Then you can do the same for flow operations, although you've got that second T out parameter that we'll have to fill in, which isn't a big deal.
Okay. It's actually T in.
Oh, T in, my bad.
Yeah, T out T mat. Little main stack.
See, we're even paying off some technical debt in the documentation while we're here. All right. Okay. Why don't we do this real quick? We need to validate that we actually are able to change the default log level. Let's see, do we have any specs that currently cover this? 5 usages. Yes, there's a flow log spec.cs in the test suite. We can go ahead and customize. We can go ahead and do a new spec there and validate that we're using info level by default instead of debug level when we, pass in a custom value.
Log?
Flow log spec. Yeah, there you go. It's towards the bottom there. You got it. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Let's
Might as well run this for now. See that if it's
make sure you didn't blow anything up.
Yeah, everything still passes.
Sounds good. My wife asked why I didn't bring lunch to work today, and I said it's because I'm going to be drinking a lot of eggnog, probably.
Really?
All right, that's still compiling. Uh-oh.
Something blew up.
Yeah, let's see. Must allow configuring log levels via attributes.
I think the attributes we added kind of override this.
They do. Well, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? Because I feel like those should be overriding the other ones that we did, but they're not.
Yeah.
Well, that's a problem. Well, another way we could do this on the, what we could do for this particular method is if the attributes are specified like that, use those. But if they're not specified, maybe we pass that default log level directly into the stage itself. So let's go take a look at the internal flow operation, and scroll down. It's F12 into that. And here's what we should do. Let's take a look at that. Okay. So see the default log levels and all that jazz there? Here's what we should do. Where do we actually grab the... can you expand the logic real quick on line 2920? Okay. All right. So where do we actually get the log levels? Let's see. Log levels. And where does that come from? Can you just right-click on that and just do, basically find usages?
Okay.
Yeah, where does that come from? Okay, where is it set?
Log levels, inherited attributes, get attribute.
Okay, can you go ahead and do a new line up above this? Okay, inherited attributes dot. And is there a way to see if that attribute actually exists or not? Like if we do where's contains down there, see that method? T attribute test whether the given attribute is contained within the attributes list. Can you so I guess the way we would do that is this what attributes dot. If you type that in there, attributes dot, what is it?
Log levels.
I guess go ahead and check to see if it contains default log level. Here's what stinks though. Yeah, go ahead and just do dot. Default log. Do default log levels there. See if that works. Because it's like you need to instantiate the attribute you're looking for, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Actually, how do we do the if you scroll up a little bit higher, Oh, I'm down to 2 minutes. I think I'm going to end up drinking some eggnog here. How do we check the supervision strategy? Let's see. Keep going up. Keep going.
Finish.
Keep going. Should probably be in the constructor. Keep going.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Get attribute, actor attribute, supervision strategy. Yeah, so they're newing it up and basically are specifying the default. Okay. Let's see if we have an attribute spec. So this API has always seemed a little like funky to me, this attribute system. So I am not sure exactly how you're supposed to check for the non-existence of something. Let me see if there's an attribute spec. If there's not, we're going to add one. August streams test.
This might be related to a bug I reported like years ago. There was a bug where the attributes wasn't ordered correctly. It was reversed.
So you know what? I'm drinking some eggnog, fellows. The timer's about to go off. Here's what I'd like you to go ahead and do, Gregorius. Let's get attributes sorted out first. Can you commit all your changes so far? Yeah, let's just get it all committed before we start on the next thing. While you're doing that, I'm going to check on the pull requests that we just did and see how that's doing. Well, nothing has failed yet. And let's see how my AK1004 warnings pull request did. MNTR failed after 25 minutes, which is not an encouraging sign.
Yeah.
Shit. All right. Sorry for swearing. Okay. Hold on a second. All right. Ran out of time. Glass number 2 of eggnog. Here we go. All right. Bottoms up. I'm going to probably fall asleep at work if I have to drink a few more of these. Okay, I'm going to reset the timer. I'm not putting rum or anything fun in the eggnog. I'm just drinking because YouTube has issues with people drinking alcohol in stream. I'm just drinking the raw product here. Good Lord, this container has like 2,000 calories in it. All right. Okay, Gregorius, let's go ahead and work on getting an attribute spec going. If there isn't one already, let me just double check. Let's see. I'm just going to look in August streams test. There is an attribute spec, actually. Yeah, let's go check that out real quick.
What is it?
If you go to August streams test, I'm not sure what folder it's in. It's August streams test.dsl.
So, with attribute specs. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and do attributes must be overridable on a module basis. So apparently it's not overriding the ones we set, which appears to be a problem. Let's do this. Can we add a spec for contains? We basically want to do a null test. See if when there's no attribute specified, that should not return true for an attribute that we haven't created yet. Yeah. A little wordy, but we got to do it. Okay. So here's what I would do. I would just go ahead and do, go ahead and new up some attributes. Just do var attributes equals, you could do attributes.create name or something like that if you want to. There you go. Okay. And then on the next line, do attributes.contains. And this should be lowercase, right? It should be lowercase a on the attributes, not contains. Because it's the instance, not the class. And then go ahead and do a new attribute, I guess. You can do attributes.create. Yeah, go ahead and use the static method here. Get rid of the new keyword. Attributes.create log. Create log levels is what you want. And yeah, that should be fine. And you need to store and basically you should use like fluent assertions or something to validate that should be false.
Comparable to IHV.
It's what's it complaining about?
It's complaining that attributes does not extend IHV.
When we call attributes.create log levels, what does that return? Attributes?
Attributes.
Ugh. Yes, I see. Can you F12 into that method? What does this actually do? Okay, log levels is the attribute. Go ahead and copy that.
This one?
Yeah. All right, let's go back. And go ahead and stick the log levels in a, stick that in a field somewhere.
Yeah.
Or sorry, stick that in like a var, basically. Yeah, do that. Okay. And then do we need to specify those properties or do they have defaults?
Check.
I was looking forward to drinking some eggnog at first, and now I'm not. All right.
Nope.
All right. So yeah, just go ahead and set it all to. Doesn't really matter. You can set it all to any log level. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that this doesn't have like a dictionary system or something is kind of crappy, but whatever. And yeah, attribute. And do like, I don't know, should be false. Yeah. All right. Go ahead and run that. And you can change that back to a void. Doesn't need to return an async task. All right. Okay, let's run that. Oh, God.
I'm going to. No, you turned it off.
That passed, looks like. Right?
Yep, it passed.
All right, why don't you commit that real quick? And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the logic inside the Akka stream stage. All right, so let's go to the where is that stream stage defined? Is that file? That looks like it. Okay, yeah, log. Here's what I'd like you to do. Where's the default log levels defined?
It's right here.
Okay, and that's probably okay. For this logic, I would like you to go ahead and add. We need to have a field that comes inside of this logic that accepts just a regular standalone log level. So let's go back to the constructor, please.
Okay.
All right. We're going to go ahead and have private log level. Private read-only log level. call it default log level. Okay. And what we're going to do is we are going to scroll down to pre-start. Actually, the default log level start, that's got to get passed into the CTOR.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that. Yeah. Actually, what we can do, by the way, we don't have to necessarily put it on the logic class if you want to delete that.
Oh, we can stick it in the.
We can stick it on the log,
stage.
yeah, on the log stage.
Okay. Yeah, we can put it here.
Yep, and then that's got to go into the constructor.
Okay.
Yep, that looks good. And you can just do a TBD on that. In fact, I'll just delete all those XML doc comments. It's not adding any value. Okay, that looks good. So let's go back to the logic. And let's go to pre-start. Okay. And do an if statement around line 3003.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to basically do an if on the contains. Can you do that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Open curly braces. Copy line 3007 and place it inside the curly braces. All right. Now go ahead and delete line 3007 and replace it with an else statement.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to go ahead and do log levels equals new attribute dot log level, or I think it's attribute dot log level. Yeah, there you go. What did you do in your contains test? You just added to the attribute spec. That's it. Yes, perfect.
Log levels. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and we will set that to, for the first two properties, the default log level. Yeah, stage. Yep. Do that for both. And then we'll hard code that last one to error. Okay. Now we should have some compilation errors. Let's try rebuilding it.
It's right here.
All right, let's fix those.
No, we should just delete this, right?
Yes, 100%. Yep.
There should be another one. No, I guess not.
I think they all chain together to kind of go through that route. Let's recompile again.
Okay.
And once that's done, you can rerun the flow log specs. They should all pass accordingly. All right, go ahead and rerun those. Still failing. Expected warning, but received debug. Warning level, info level, debug level. Okay. Let's go ahead and set a breakpoint inside that pre-start method on the logic. And just let's see if it's doing the correct thing here. All right. Let's go for it. Inherited attributes does not contain the default log level.
That's because it's been overridden, I think.
Yeah, but this was working before, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not the same. It's log level, warning level, info level, debug level, not debug. error.
Oh my gosh. Is it possible that the contains is returning false for everything?
Could be. Yeah.
Let's take a look at that. So maybe we need to add another attribute spec. So maybe we're finding yet another bug within Akka streams, right?
Yeah. Well, let's see the implementation. It's link.
Oh,
So it's using the equality, the equitable, something like that.
and what
So it
happens when
wouldn't
we
be
call
the same.
what happens when we call get on this instead of contains?
Get attribute.
Mm-hmm. It's looking for the type, isn't it?
Yep. Type.
So you know what we should. So the contains implementation is junk. It does not work.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's nonsensical. This is
So here's what we should do. Oh, there's a contains that uses a strongly typed version there. Can we give that a try?
it doesn't really matter because
It's doing the same junk, isn't it?
yeah.
Why don't you rewrite? So the attributes.contains, is this just pure link, this stuff?
It's pure
Mark
link.
Mark the generic version of it is obsolete. Oh no, sorry, the non-generic version.
There is no non-generic version.
There isn't?
There's only one. Yeah.
Okay. In that case, we just need to change how it works then. Let's scroll down. Instead of contains, can you do .any? And you do lambda. C is. Or basically A is of type T atra, basically. Yep. Oh, no, all you got to do here is just do the generic argument there. You can delete attribute. We don't need it. You just need the attributes type. Yep. Okay.
We
That
could
should work.
actually do another one like this, right?
Yeah, you actually don't even need that. Actually, be even better, and we can mark the other one as obsolete.
Yeah.
That comment from that first part of that
Right.
comment makes no sense. Okay. All right. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. That looks good. Let's change our unit test that we just added, the attribute spec. Have it go ahead and use the correct generic method instead. And that means we can also delete that whole newing up that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And can you also do a positive test on there as well? Where it's like, it should not contain that, but it should contain whatever the name attribute is. And you can make them both part of the same unit test. They don't have to be separate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What is it attribute.name? What is that called?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Should be true. All right, let's run that. Well, even though this wasn't a documented bug, I'm counting it. All right, perfect. And let's go ahead and adjust the stage to use that as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's run it. Boy, that was some herpy-derpy stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and commit that in and push that. We're still going to need to add another test to basically validate that the setting we pass in through the method works. And then we're going to have to do the API approvals. Not to put you under any time pressure, but I've got about 3 minutes. Yeah, we're going to count this as a twofer, though.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. That's looking good. Now we got to go, I guess, to our flow log spec and just add another test. All right, let's steal this one. So go ahead and just copy this.
Okay.
Yep. And go ahead and paste it. Allow configuring log levels via, instead of attributes, say via method. All right. And you can go ahead and delete the log attributes. Don't need that. You can delete that. And all we're going to do is let's go ahead and pass in log level. Yep. Go ahead and do warning.
Okay.
All right. And then basically go ahead and delete that expect message info. You can get rid of that. Don't need it. And you can get rid of everything else in the spec as far as I'm concerned, actually. All right, let's run it.
Hey, passes.
All right, I'm saved with 45 seconds left on the clock. All right. Let's go ahead and check. We got to do API approvals, and this does have some breaking API changes. So we'll need to do a new Alpaca and AquaStream's Kafka release after this. But you know what? Thank God. All right. This is one of those APIs that was never very developer friendly. So I'm glad we're fixing that. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and increase our power level here. Oh my God, there's been a ton of comments that I haven't noticed. This is JetBrains Writer that Gregorius and I are both using. Correct, Gregorius?
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
Yep, let's see. Gregorius said, I think if you start with eggnog, so Houston said, if you start with eggnog, you'll probably find the issue faster. Well, I'll say I'm certainly highly motivated to get to the bottom of this stuff. Yeah. All right. Demonetized for drinking eggnog on here. Yep. Oh yeah, raw eggs much safer than alcohol. You know, sometimes you just have to nut up and sacrifice yourself for art, Houston. Yeah. Stomach problems equals a weight reluctantly drink eggnog async. Yeah, you got that right. Let's see. Pasteurized eggnog is the old duals eggnog. What is this pasteurized? It probably is. We're in the United States. We can't do anything fun. Yes, it is pasteurized, Houston. I'm sorry. If this was French eggnog, it probably would be unpasteurized. But unfortunately, we live in the United States. Okay. From Francis, nice debugging. Do those yellow glasses really work? Yes, they do. You can't really, well, I guess you can see it. I have windows surrounding most of my office, and it gets very, very bright in here. This helps protect me from a lot of eye strain. So yes, definitely helps. And then let's see. Do you use inline data checks for all log levels, or is one enough? One should be enough for this. Basically, all we validated is that it's changed, and that should be sufficient, I think. Let's see, Gregorius, you still got to do the API check-in, right?
Yep.
All right. Oh, while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and up our counter. 3 bugs fixed. This is like us firing the cannon from Hunger Games whenever a player gets killed. More bugs destroyed. There we go. All right, I'm going to reset the timer. And I guess, oops, I got to clear this. I'm going to reset the timer. Then I guess it's your pick for the next bug, isn't it?
Yes. I'm still doing the API. Hold on.
No worries. That AK-1004 thing failed, and it looks like the multi-node test runner was very, very upset with something that happened in here.
Oh,
So,
okay, we need to look into that.
yeah, we'll have to look into that. That's probably not going to be doable on a live stream. My pull request for make test kit startup timeouts configurable had a failure somewhere in here. It looks like a race condition. One of these racy multi-node tests. Let me check that out real quick while you're working on that. Yeah, so the distributed pub sub restart specs. These things are one of our worst offenders for racy unit tests. I did not have the courage to add that to the list of things to work on today. Okay. All right, Gregorius, I guess I'm going to go ahead. Let me know once you're done with that, and we'll pick the next one.
I'm done.
Let's see. All done?
I just need to make a pull request, and that's it.
All right, sounds good. I'll let you do that. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to let my... That took like 40 minutes to go ahead and do that. That took a lot longer than I thought. But it did have a second bug in it that was pretty bad. Okay. I'm going to finish the last little bit of eggnog there. Oh, God. As someone who drinks a lot of neat bourbon, I feel like I can handle just about everything. But, man, like the amount of sugar and dairy in that is pretty gnarly. Okay.
Oh, no one's actually seeing this. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Patient.
Yeah, this is my... I'm going to show this again. Oh, sorry, that's not what I meant to show. This is definitely my current status right now. Trying to avoid reluctantly drinking eggnog. All right. Do you want the issue number for that one?
I already did. I already
got it? Okay.
Yeah, it's 727. 71. 27.
All right. Sounds good.
Yep.
Okay, I see your PR. All right. Switching gears. I've got my screen up. Okay, so that's technically 3 bugs since we had a twofer in that one. Next. All right, Gregorius, I think it's your choice this time.
Why don't we make it something like calm and easy? Let's do the iActorRef serialization documentation.
I probably should have removed this one actually. Because I took a look at it and we actually do have it in there, but there was some new serialization I wrote for the new Akka.net website, some docs that are better on it. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of strike that one from the list here. Basically I need to spend a little bit of time getting organized to figure out where that's going to go. And that's not really a debugging thing as much as it is a content management thing. So I'm going to strike that from the list here. If I could figure out which issue it was. Whoops. Let's pick a different one.
Okay. Misleading error text.
Yes. This issue that Vagif recently submitted. Okay. The bug, and I put this down as a developer experience issue. If an actor tries to stash a life cycle message, the illegal actor state exception is raised. The text can't stash the same message more than once. This text is supposed to include the actual message, but in case of pre-start, the current message is null, so no information is included in the text. This is confusing because there is no attempt to stash a message twice. There's an attempt to stash a message that can't be stashed. All right, makes sense. I guess, Gregorius, another way we could try fixing this is I was actually starting to work on your Akka analyzer rule for detecting duplicate stashing. I started chat GPTing that a bit this morning. Pull this up here. So I started pulling this up. I guess one thing we could do, that's going to take way longer than 20 minutes, is adding an analyzer rule to tell people don't call stash inside pre-start, right? Because there is nothing to stash there. So that's one thing we could do, but we can fix this. We should either raise an invalid operation, or the text for illegal act or state exception should change such that we specify the message can't be stashed. So there should be a check for a nullable occur message that should trigger either a better exception text or invalid operation. Okay, I think this seems good to go, Gregorius. All right, let me go ahead and get ready. Let me go to the dev branch. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I don't think we have anything we've merged in. No, we haven't. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Is what? Fix 7938. Well, we've got pull requests that have been staged, but they're not merged into the dev branch yet. 7938, illegal stash. All right, I'm starting the timer. All right, 20 minutes. Let's do it. By the way, I think I said 90 minutes, but the YouTube stream said 2 hours. We'll go the full 2 hours. I'll be, that way we can try to get as much done as possible. Okay. So we got to figure out where that illegal act or state exception is getting raised inside the stash, Gregorius. Where should we go? Let's see.
Legal act or exception. It's in abstract-stash.cs.
Got it. If the mailbox is null, we throw an actor initialization exception. That's fine. That's not the issue. I think this is it.
Yeah.
Can't stash the same message twice. Okay. So this is the issue, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, what we need to probably do, let's take a look at Vagif's issue again. What's the default value?
It's 0.
0.
It's not being set. So it's 0.
Envelope ID is 0. Okay. Why don't we check this? Should we check to see if that message is null, like Vagif suggested? Which it presumably would be under these conditions, right?
It would be, yeah.
You know what? Let's do this. Do you want to do a unit test first?
Yeah. Is it possible that there's a cross-pollination between, like, when the actor just got restarted, the context actually belongs to another actor? No, that's not possible.
No, this all exists within an actor's context.
Yeah, should be.
I'm glad you I'm glad you like the Santa hat. My drip with my drip with the Santa hat, the big headphones, the glasses. I'm trying to make us software developers look good. All right, let's see. Let's pull up. Want to go ahead and do you want to try to work backwards from a unit test for this one?
Yeah, I think we should.
All right. And how about I'm going to add a test inside the stashing area. We'll call this what? The issue number was what? 7938, right?
Well, issue is 7398.
7398. Sorry, dyslexic moment there. All right. And we'll hear it from Akaspec. Public. Bring in the test output helper. Looks good. I guess I need to define an actor at the stash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Thanks for nothing, ChatGPT. I'm gonna have to download like more eggnog because of AI. All right. Illegal stash actor. Untyped actor.
Untyped actor.
Yeah.
I would actor. I would stash.
Yeah, that's right. Do that. Okay. And we won't need to necessarily do anything here.
Restart and just stash that stash.
Okay.
So I guess we just start the actor and see what happens, right?
Yep. Well, let me open up curly braces here. Let's see what happens. ChatGPT is going to take our jobs, except it can't put captions on an image or tell you how many R's there are in the word Larry. Other than that, it's fine.
I think the exception type is wrong. It should be illegal actor state exception.
Well, let's take a look. But yes, that's correct. The exception is wrong currently. It's currently throwing an illegal actor state exception with a bad error message in it. So I changed this to invalid operation exception just to
make sure that we capture it.
Yeah, just to make sure that we capture it and to differentiate it from the actor state. Okay, that looks good. So I guess Vagif's suggestion was if we checked if the message was null, to go ahead and throw an invalid operation exception. You want to do that, or do you want to try another way of doing it?
I guess that's a good way of just saying, yeah, let's just check for null. So it's actor cell that current message, right?
Yep. And you know what I'm going to do as a little performance optimization? We're going to do this after this integer check is over. Although I guess it's not really much of a... And I'm going to go ahead and call this invalid operation exception. There is no message to stash right now. Must be called inside an actor's receive methods. That sound right? All right. Let's run this. Okay. And did I throw the wrong exception type? I threw an invalid operation exception. And what's this complaining about? It threw an actor initialization exception, which wrapped the invalid operation. I think that's probably okay, actually.
Yeah.
All right, actor initialization exception. All right, and then...
I mean, it is being thrown inside a restart, so...
Yeah. And I think the error message is a lot clearer now. Nope, Jan, you managed to catch it just in time. All right, and that's all passing now. Is there a way for us to capture this exception and do any additional asserts on it? Let's see. Let me take a look at it real quick. I don't think so. Yeah, no, that's a void method, so I don't think there's a way to do that. If we wanted to be super thorough, we can make sure there's an invalid operation exception being thrown, but I think this is fine. How about you, Gregorius?
Yeah, it looks fine to me.
All right, and I'll just mark this as private just to help keep stuff from floating around inside the other tests. All right, another bug down. We'll go ahead and say throw clear error message during in null message. All right, whoops. And we'll go down here, close 7938. Don't think we need to do it. There's no public API changes here. So we should be in pretty good shape.
That's the wrong issue number. It's 7398.
Whoops. Sorry, dyslexic moment. All right. I think
it's fine. We'll fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post. There we go. 7398, right? Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. 7398. Wait.
Yep, that's correct.
7398. Yes. Okay. Go ahead and label this socket actor. Logging. Okay. And 7398. Okay. Let me go ahead and submit this. Boom. We are up to 4 bugs fixed now. Hell yeah. All right. We've got another 35 minutes left on the live stream. We did that in about 10 minutes. All right. Good choice, Gregorius, keeping me out of the eggnog pit there. All right. Let me go ahead and just reset the timer. And I'll do my little self-review on the pull request here. And then I guess it's my turn to pick the next issue, right? Okay, why don't you go ahead and I'll share your screen again, and we'll take a look at that. Let me just go ahead and do a quick comment here. Provide a clear explanation of why we're throwing an exception. There we go. Shouldn't really affect the performance profile of stashing at all, which is good. But yeah. All right. That's all done. Let's see. Make test startup timeouts configurable. Looks like it was just an MNTR failure is all that really happened there. I'm just going to say screw it and merge it in.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not a test. Okay. All right, good deal. Let's take a look at the issue list. Okay, so let's see. What would be another good one to knock out so I don't have to drink any more eggnog? Let's take a look at that make internal test actor. This is Jan Petabridge on our stream right now. This is his PR. Let's see.
Okay.
So let's take a look. Yeah, you know what? We are going to go ahead and fix Jan's PR. So, Gregorius, if you want to go ahead and, yeah, you know what to do. All right, I'll let you take care of that. I'm going to start the timer. Here it is. All right. Good deal.
Francis.
Guess what, Jan? You're also going to get committer credit for this stuff.
Test actor supervisor strategy. This one.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And let's see. I'm trying to see if let me go ahead and update his PR branch real quick, Gregorius. All right. Just did that. So if you want to pull that one more time.
Okay.
All right.
Ooh, 126 new merges.
And let's see, this was from, when was this? January of this year. All right. So it took us a little while to get around to fixing this one. But you know what? If we can make clearing our backlog entertaining, which we're trying to do right now, so be it. All right.
Okay, so all there is to this is an addition. Well, it's still a draft, and all it did is add a override for the supervisor strategy.
If you look at my comment on the pull request, I figured out why the tests are failing. So I think that is the test that is currently failing on here. Let me just double check the test results. Let's see. I just had it up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the test. So why don't we pull that up inside Rider and figure out why that's failing currently?
Okay. So it's test kit test.
Yeah.
Test group.
All right, you want to try running that?
Okay. Yep, it failed.
All right, expected actual 0 to be less than 1.
This one.
Yep.
Restarts.
Restarts current should be greater than 1. Props.create supervisor strategy. Default strategy. So here's the question. What file did he modify in this pull request where he added the override on there? I'm wondering if, let's see, it's the internal test actor.cs.
Yep. So it's in test kit.
Internal is the folder that it's in. Yeah, internal test actor, yes. And it's line 106. There you go.
Yep, it's this.
Okay. Let's see what that's set to when we run this in debug mode.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Delegating supervisor strategy, deployable decider, default directive restart. What are the pairs if you flush that out? Stops and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. And where does that that field supervisor strategy, where does that get set?
It's being updated. It's new at the start.
Ooh, that's the problem. Problem is that's getting hard coded to the delegating supervisor strategy, and we're effectively no longer overriding it as a result of this. So this change kind of is doing the inverse of what we wanted to do. It's actually taking away our ability to override the supervisor strategy via props. So let's take a look. I'm going to pull up the original GitHub issue again and see what the deal is. Make internal test actor override a supervision strategy. Let's take a look at that. Looks like the internal test actor doesn't override to actually use its private supervisor strategy. The supervisor strategy does not take effect. Can create child actors via the test probe. Very old issue there. So, can you take a look at that delegating supervisor strategy? Yeah, the class definition. What does this actually do? If you just F12 on the class. There you go. All right. What does this do? This is part of the test kit. Okay. Delegates. Decider. Oh, I see. Let me take a look at the 4148 issue. Create child actors via the probe. Let's take a look here. I see. It shows that we're not using our own delegating supervisor strategy to override it. So here's the problem that we need to solve, Gregorius, is we want to use this supervisor strategy by default, but usually the value that comes from props overrides this. That's typically how it works, right?
Yeah.
So we want to be able to still override it via props and use this. So Jan didn't do the wrong thing. It's just that this issue is a little bit more complicated than it looks. Can we go back to the unit test that was failing, the probe spec? Probe.child actor of. And that's where we pass in the strategy. Can you go to the child actor of method on the test probe?
Okay.
Yeah. And we basically are telling the test actor to spawn this child via that. Okay. Where do we handle the spawn method inside the internal test actor? Yeah, where does that get handled? This might be easier than it looks.
Okay, yep, here it is.
Okay. All right, so the supervisor strategy has value, then we update it. Okay, so we do update that. Interesting. So that should work, shouldn't it?
In theory.
So Jan's fix actually should have been correct, but it's not for some subtle reason. I'm going to end up drinking eggnog again, aren't I? Okay. Pick one that looks easy. And of course, there's a whole iceberg worth of stuff underneath it. Great. Okay. Let's see here. Would you mind setting a breakpoint on lines 75 and 77?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And that supervisor strategy to update method, what does that actually do? Is this the delegating supervisor strategy? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Let's go ahead and debug that test again.
Okay. S value is true.
Jan saying, LOL, it's been 6 months already since he submitted that. Jan, it's all good. He says he thought it was low-hanging fruit. They had no time to look into it further. Yes, I am. Gregorius and I are both very familiar with that feeling. So it has a value, and we are updating it. So I have a question for you, Gregorius. Why was this test? You know why this test was working before? Because it was using the default supervision strategy.
Yes, yeah.
And then we changed it. So Jan actually fixed the problem. The problem was the test was designed poorly before. Yes.
It is a restart strategy, so
It is.
why isn't it? What isn't the actor being restarted though?
That's a good question. Here's what I would do. Let's go to the delegating supervisor strategy. You want to set some breakpoints in this and see what happens when someone dies or someone crashes, rather. Like actually debug the supervision strategy class itself. Maybe it's a problem with that and not the actor.
Could be. So
let's see.
So
Wish I still had my code coverage. Nope. Yeah, it's all gone now. Dang it. Okay. So let's see process failure. Can you set a breakpoint on that on line 30? Thanks. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Oh, one more thing. Actually, no, that should be fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and debug it. Okay. Can you set a breakpoint on line 24? All right, let's run that again. I have a feeling this is the problem. Okay. Well, that would do it, folks. So the problem is that the strategy never got implemented correctly. And the only reason why that test was passing was because it's using the default supervision strategy. So the test basically is useless. It doesn't do anything. So let me make a suggestion. Can we take a look at that probe spec test that's failing right now? Okay. What I would like to do instead of checking to see if it restarts, let's do a custom strategy that will cause... What does the failing actor do when it throws? What does it throw? Exception? Okay. I'd like you to write a custom supervision strategy that when you see an exception show up, it kills the actor permanently.
Okay.
So you can just define that as like a free-floating class inside the test fixture somewhere. Not to put too much time pressure on you, but I got about 7 minutes. So yeah, I guess I do one-to-one. Yeah, just inherit from the one-to-one supervision strategy.
Here.
Do it inside. Go back to probe spec. Yeah, go ahead and just have this class inherit from one-to-one strategy. Yep. And then go ahead and do override. Handle. And basically go ahead and do if, exception, a lowercase e.
Yeah. Sorry.
Actually, this is always going to return the same thing, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. Just go ahead and just return, no matter what, just go ahead and return a stop directive. All right, that looks good. All right, let's go ahead and go back to the test method that's failing. Instead of the default strategy, let's go ahead and put our new failing strategy. And then go ahead and death watch the child actor. So you might need to change this to an async test.
Okay.
Yeah, watch async. Child. So Jan, your code was innocent. You did the right thing. This is yet again another old bug that we've uncovered here. All right, change that to await assert async. Yep. And then when we tell the child hello, we should go ahead and do inside the await assert. We should do expect terminated async. In fact, I don't even think we need an await assert for this, Gregorius. I think it should be fine on its own. So we can probably get it out of that block. Yeah. We've effectively made the test more deterministic by doing it this way. Yeah. What's the child actor of grumbling about?
What?
There's a green squiggle underneath there. Method async overload. Get out of here. Okay, fine, whatever. Okay, go ahead and run that. This should also fail. But now we're basically changing the default behavior, so we...
It succeeded.
Huh. Okay, in that case... I guess we're going to have to make a second unit test. Let's go ahead and copy this one.
Well,
And rename
to
the
match-
first test. Go ahead, Gregorius.
To match the actual the original, shouldn't it be restart, directed restart instead of stop?
Well, here's the thing. I think the reason why that actor is terminating is I think because the probe's dying as a result of throwing that exception. So you know what we want to do to basically make sure that this actually, funnily enough, this test is succeeding but for the wrong reason. It's succeeding because its parent is dying when it throws that exception. Let's do this, Gregorius. Can we go to the delegating supervisor strategy?
Oh, this one?
Yeah. Actually, we should add the old test back, the restart one that was failing. We should add that back as well. Do you want me to steal that code for you? Or
I can just undo everything.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. There you go. And you just got to rename one of the tests. I think the second one, rename it to kill a failing child if the supervisor says so. All right. Okay. Looks good. So if we run these, one of them is going to pass for the wrong reasons. The other one is going to fail for the wrong reason as well. So let's run that. All right. And let's do the restart also fails, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Restart
All right.
fails.
So if we go to the delegating supervisor strategy, and here's what I think we should do. I would override this. So basically get rid of the not implemented exception and do delegates, child, dot, handle. And this is why this method may not be getting used at all. I see. Interesting. So why is the handle method not accessible, I wonder? Can you take a look at the supervisor strategy class? Yeah, let's take a look at that.
It's protected.
Huh. That seems odd. You want to change it to public? Yeah. This will be an API change, but not a breaking one. All right. There you go. Child exception. All right. And I guess you got to change that override on there to be public. Oof. Actually, I wonder if this is going to blow up stuff for a ton of people.
Yeah.
It's going to, isn't it?
Yeah.
Changing the accessibility of that.
Yeah.
That sucks. Where does handle get called?
That is a good question.
Maybe there's a way of doing this without changing. Damn it. Okay. All right. Okay.
It's actually being called inside handle failure.
Inside handle failure is calling it. Oh man, I just poured myself a super big glass of eggnog. I am not drinking all that. Yeah, no, I was not paying attention. All right. For art. So it's being called inside handle failure. Okay. You know what? So, but why is it failing in our case? Is it because we're not returning?
Well, we're not actually doing anything. We're throwing the not implemented exception, right?
Yeah. Actually, why don't you put a breakpoint there and see what the call stat looks like by the time we hit it? I suspect the issue is the base method is still getting called somehow for this.
I need to.
And yeah, we can
fix
revert that.
everything.
Yeah, we can revert that change there. That will definitely blow up a lot of people. Like that's not a compilable
Not
thing.
kosher. Yeah, it's
All right.
not kosher.
All right, I'm setting the timer one more time. Okay. All right. So what's the stack trace? We did handle failure.
Handle failure is being handled by
so that confuses me. Oh, is it because handle failure is not overridable?
Okay. Well,
Process failure. Would you mind taking a look at the supervisor strategy base class real quick? There's another base class that goes even deeper than this. Maybe not.
Yeah. It's
Let's scroll down.
Interface.
So there's handle failure and then process failure.
Process failure is an abstract method.
This method is called act on the failure of a child. Okay, so when we do process the handle failure, that basically is asking for the directive, right?
Yeah.
And it's only on process so the restarting is the only thing that gets handled by that process failure method. Let's see. Well, in terms of how we could do this, we could do some gnarly reflection magic. That'd be one way of doing this. What would be the other way of getting this done? When does handle failure get called? Does that get called directly by the actor cell? I think it does.
Being called by handle fail. It's a private.
Gotcha. So it's getting called directly by the actor cell. Okay. Well, this is interesting. Let's go back to the delegating the delegating method. So we need to have a way to pass this into the handle of each of those child delegates. And the fact that it's protected makes it impossible. Let me see. We could do the unsafe accessor thing, but that only works on .NET 8, I think. Let's double check. Unsafe accessor C#. I don't think it's backwards compatible for .NET Standard 2.0. Yeah, it's got to be it's got to be .NET 8, so that will not work. Bummer. Well, you know what we could do? We're going to go ahead and we're going to hack this with reflection, buddy. Yep, it's happening. We'll put a comment in there. We'll apologize to our users, but in the name of all that is good on this earth, we're going to do it. So what I'd like you to do is basically grab the supervision strategy that belongs to the child. Yeah, and you can just leave it implicit. Yeah, there you go. Okay. What we're gonna go ahead and do. Okay, var. I'm going off a little example on my screen here. All right. We're gonna go ahead and do var handle method. Yes, Jan, you're correct. This is just for the test kit. This should not kill us. I think we'll be okay. So we're gonna go ahead and do type of. Let's see. Type of supervision strategy.
Mm-hmm. I think this should be an empty.
And yeah, the parameters that it takes are, let's see, actor ref, then exception, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, handle method. Let's see. Actually, do we need to pass in the values that we're invoking? Yeah, we got to call dot invoke after that. Yep. And we could pass in those values here. Okay. I think for invoke, I think handle.
Yeah.
Let's see. The instance has to go first. The child delegate. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Okay. Do that. Do we need to specify a return value on there? Here, go ahead and yeah. I guess you got to cast that to object. See the new array.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then, what's the return type on invoke?
It's object, I think. Yep.
Yeah.
So we have to
cast it to directive. Okay. Then return that, I guess, at the end.
It's complaining that something might be null.
Well, it's not wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and test this and see if it even works. Yeah, that is ugly, but sometimes you got to do.
If you have a child, if you have a child in the room, please, this is unsafe coding. Do not show this to your child.
Yeah. If you have a programmer that really likes AutoMapper, please have them leave the room. All right, go ahead and run this.
The test
restart
files.
one, right?
Yeah, the restart one.
All right, let's go ahead and set a breakpoint in a couple spots. Yeah, set one there, and I guess we got to make sure the child strategy gets invoked too, right? So I guess we'd go back to the test class. Go to, I guess we're using the custom supervision strategy though, aren't we? Well, that's okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So why don't you go to that? Go to the default supervision strategy. Yeah. Yep.
Strategy. Where is it? Handle this.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Okay, so deployable decider. Restart. Looks good. Who's the child in question?
Child is the test break.
Uh-oh. That is the test actor itself, not its child. All right, go ahead and hit F5. There's an object null reference exception going on there. Can we go back to your supervision strategy, the delegating supervisor strategy? There's an NRE happening somewhere in here.
Yeah.
I would go ahead and basically put breakpoints on both of those lines. Yeah. And on line 26 as well. That's fine, actually.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's line 26 that's blowing up. C#. Yeah, let's see.
It is null, so it couldn't find the method handle. I think we need to specify that this is not a public method.
Yes, I think you're right. How do we do that? It's the binding flags thing is what we got to do. Yeah, here. I guess you do that after the method name, but before the arguments. So it's binding flags dot instance. I think. Yeah. And then you do, the little bit. You got it. Yeah. And then non-public. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's right. And is that complaining at you, or is that working okay?
It's working. Yeah.
All right, let's try running it. Okay. So on the line after binding attributes, go ahead and specify type.default binder. Yeah, capital T type. There you go. Yep, default binder.
Yeah.
Okay. And you might need to get rid of the binding attribute specifier. All right. What else is it complaining about?
It's not assignable to parameter type int. What?
Binding flags. Oh, maybe add null to the final value at the end there. After, yeah, you go ahead and do that. Okay. Yeah. Let's see if this works. You've picked the issues that we've gotten done really quickly, and I've picked the ones that are going to end up having me drink like 2 cups of eggnog each.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
That looks promising. All right.
Yep. Result is restored.
Good deal. Let it ride. All right. Okay. Go ahead and rerun it without debugging. There we go. Nice. All right. Can you go back to that whole test class and run the entire thing? Yeah, let's run everything in this class. Yep. All right. Mission accomplished. We are at 5 bugs fixed. And, I think we're just at the 2-hour mark, so we're probably out of time. Gregorius, I'm going to let you go ahead and push that up to GitHub, and we'll call it a day here for our final live stream of 2024. 5 bugs fixed in the span of 2 hours ain't bad. And that was an old one, too. That was at least a 4-year-old bug.
Yeah, it is.
And your Akka Streams pull request passed, although it's got to get redone. Actually, you know what? It's fine. I'm just going to merge it.
So it is an API breaking change, though, because we're actually changing how the strategy itself being handled, right?
Yeah, well, it was never working before. so not really. Yeah, that's one of those things was like, well, if people were relying on broken behavior before, which, by the way, no one was because it didn't work at all. I think we're fine. I'm just making a note on your streams PR. This has some breaking API changes. This is going to require us to release a new Alpaca streams.kafka plugins. All right, merging your Akka Streams pull request in. Good stuff.
So my changes should be pushed to Ian's pull request.
Oh, good. So you're able to push to his branch.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I see it there. Okay, I'm going to take his pull request out of draft. I'm going to update it. And we will go ahead and set that for auto merge. Let me do that real quick. Good job, Jan. You got some free commits out of this today. I had some more pull requests submitted by other users I wanted to bring in too. I just didn't get a chance to get to all of them. All right, everyone. Well, thank you very, very much for participating in the stream with us. This was a lot of fun. I really had a good time, and I think Gregorius did too. I never want to drink eggnog again. And I will see you all in January of 2025. Thank you very much. And Gregorius, great job. Appreciated doing this together. This was a lot of fun.
Yep, it is.
All right. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, everyone.